Today's podcast is brought to you by Audible.com. Get a free audiobook download and a 30-day free trial at www.audibletrial.com/citizenho. Over 150,000 titles to choose from for your iPhone, Android, Kindle, or MP3 player.
Hello there.
Hola!
And welcome to Citizen Ho, episode 97.
Wow.
In 3 more episodes, we're going to have our 100th episode spectacular.
In which we will do the same thing we've done for at least 99 or 98 of the previous episodes.
I was actually hoping that we'd do a clip show.
A clip show?
Yeah.
That's a lot of work.
Not for me, you're the producer.
Exactly. Like I said, that's a lot of work.
Hashtag Kevin is lazy.
Hey, hashtag I don't get paid for this.
we have half. Oh shit! Speaking of which,
What?
I don't have a book.
Ah, for shame. Somebody didn't plan again. So let's see. While Scott looks up a book and actually, tries to be prepared for our for the sponsorship portion of our show.
Preparedness, shamaredness.
Uh-huh. Yes, well, considering our lengthy run book for this episode.
We have a lengthy run book.
Yes, it's sitting right in front of you.
It says the date and the episode number.
Precisely. It's called Sarcasm.
What's sarcasm? Let's go for a history book.
A history book. Okay, then.
Well, that sounds interesting.
Oh, Lord.
Speaking of books, apparently the #1 book on Amazon is like how the Democrats can take the country back. And it's apparently 228 blank pages.
Okay, then.
Saw that on the news.
That's the most popular book on Amazon?
Yeah.
228 blank pages.
Yep.
Why?
Because people are dumb. That's why evil will always triumph.
Yes. Sadly, the T-shirt I wore on Election Day has proven to be accurate.
Please explain.
You knew about that T-shirt. You saw it.
I don't remember what I did.
It was Dark Helmet for President 2016. Oh, yeah. And then it said, because evil will always triumph, because good is dumb.
Sad but true.
Yes, precisely.
Damn evil geniuses.
I don't know about the genius part.
It's been a fun, let's see, what's it, about 45 days of Trump?
45, 50 days, whatever it's been.
We only have like 1,100 and something left, maybe.
Oh, goody. Yeah, well, we'll see.
I mean, his speech to Congress wasn't bad.
No, his speech, from what I saw of it and what I've heard about it, it actually sounded like it was a halfway decent speech.
A lot of what he said was nonsense, but it was a well-delivered speech for him.
Yeah.
When the bar is set so low.
Well, it's like I said. I may not have agreed with everything he said, but I can at least acknowledge that it was a decent speech.
Then the next day, he was riding high for about 24 hours.
If even. And then, by the next morning, he was tweeting about...
No, the next morning was the Attorney General with the Russians.
What? Okay.
That was like literally the next day.
No, all right.
Then that Saturday, he was tweeting about Obama.
I heard Obama wiretapping the Oval Office. Yeah. Or no, wiretapping Trump Tower.
Which, if you understand how government works, the president can't do that.
Yes, well, okay. And the conspiracy theorists among us their argument will be, who says he's following the rules?
But he doesn't have the power to authorize that.
He's the president.
Yes.
He'll say, get it done.
Yes, and they'll say no. They'll challenge it. Trust me.
No, I know that's how it's supposed to go by the book. I'm talking about what a conspiracy theorist might say to counter that.
So my whole theory on this thing is...
And my argument to all that is, okay, let's say, for argument's sake, he told somebody to get it done. They would have had to go and actually do it. But wiretapping a phone is not as simple as just, sneaking into the guy's office and, putting a little bug in the receiver.
Wait, you mean movies have been lying to us?
Yeah, exactly. I believe it involves the phone company.
The The main thing.
So, and bottom line is, too many people would have to keep it a secret.
Yeah. And the main thing is stupidity. And I'm not talking about Trumps or anything. It's people. People will believe this shit.
Well, of course. And plenty of people do.
But he hasn't released any proof.
Yeah, well, that's the biggest thing, is he has not shown one shred of actual evidence to his claim.
He's delegitimizing the presidency.
You know what? The presidency will move on. You know, eventually he's not going to be in office anymore. And,
hopefully sooner than later.
And I mean, look, people.
Why are you playing with Marissa's
I don't know.
Madonna thingies?
But like the people said that about Nixon. What?
I want to try one on.
People said the same thing. Said all this about Nixon. He's destroyed the presidency. And you know what? People moved on. Everybody survived.
Even Nixon.
Okay then. You're probably just going to stretch that thing out and destroy it.
It was $3.99.
Okay, then you're definitely going to stretch it
out. Tonight is the Jewish holiday of Purim.
Or just Purim.
So Kevin, his wife, and Max have come out to go to synagogue with Marissa and me for Purim.
To New Jersey.
Yes, we're recording from our West Coast studio today.
Yeah, the Jersey office.
I will be dressing up as Silent Bob.
Good for you. You look more like a bad Jewish Hasidic imitation of Silent Bob.
I'll take it. Well, the Silent Bob coat is like $300. I wasn't paying that.
Okay.
So I'm wearing just my trench coat. Here, I'll record in my beard.
You don't need to record in the beard. That looks terrible.
It was $4.99.
That's why it looks terrible.
Tastes worse than it looks.
I'm sure it does.
You don't like my beard?
No, I don't. Like I said, I think it makes you look like a poor imitation Hasidic. You should have a black hat on and
we'll put a picture of me in my costume on Instagram.
You do that.
I will.
Fine.
Go then.
Talk to our social media director about that.
Okay, I will. But she gets mad at me very easily.
Yeah, well, the wives will do that.
So before you came, I caught the end of the new Ghostbusters film again. Did you watch it like you were supposed to?
When did I have time to watch it?
You have an hour and a half commute. Put it on your phone and watch it.
Yeah, no.
So, I have two main problems with it.
Yeah.
I like it as a movie, but then I realized what the problem is. The thing that made the original Ghostbusters movie work was the library scene.
Okay.
It actually was a scary scene. Legitimately scary scene. I mean, we've seen it 100 times, but the first time, that's a legitimately scary scene.
Yeah, to a degree.
And it set the basis for the rest of the movie.
Well, I mean, the Slimer scene was kind of scary when he bum rushes Venkman.
But that was the thing that set the scope for the movie, that early scene. You're going to knock the power out and you're going to kill the podcast. Stop playing with that.
Yeah.
And then, so what happened was they tried to do this scene in the mansion, and the guy that they do it to plays Jared on Silicon Valley.
Okay.
And it was more funny than scary.
All right.
They didn't go for the element of horror comedy. They just went for comedy with this film.
I mean, one thing that I noticed from what I have seen of the movie is that it seems like they have, Chris Hemsworth?
Yeah.
And basically he's supposed to be the opposite of the opposite sex, ultra attractive secretary who is completely useless.
Oh, he's a complete idiot. It's hysterical.
Yeah. And then he turns into the villain because he gets possessed by a ghost, right?
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, all right.
And the other thing that I felt is the ghosts look like Scooby-Doo villains.
Yeah, a little bit.
Where, like, they use CGI and stuff. In the original one, there was no CGI.
Yeah. 1984, no CGI.
In 1984, the ghosts look more like ghosts than they do in 2016.
I guess. And some of them were pretty scary looking.
Yeah. So those are my two. Overall, though, I did like the movie. It was entertaining.
Yeah.
The four of them were pretty funny. The cameos were pretty good of all the original Ghostbusters.
All of them?
Yes.
All of them?
Yes.
How?
Okay, Harold Ramis, they had a bust of him in one of the offices.
Okay.
Bill Murray was like a debunker.
Yeah, I saw that scene.
Okay. Dan Aykroyd was a taxi driver.
Okay.
Winston was Leslie Jones's uncle at the end of the movie. That's the person they get the hearse from.
Right, okay.
And what's her name? Janine is like a secretary, obnoxious receptionist at a hotel.
So she's playing the same part.
Exactly, and it works. We got one!
We got one!
That's how Kevin told me Max was born.
Yeah. Well, you told me to do it in the style of Ghostbusters.
I said it, specifically Janine Melnitz.
Did you?
Yes.
Well, then that was the best thing I could come up with.
That's what I was hoping for.
And damn it, it worked.
Is that how you told your mom too?
No, she wouldn't have understood that. Plus, she was there at the hospital. Not
True.
in the room, obviously, but she was at the hospital. I think I texted my sister to let them know that he was born.
Seems like so long ago.
Yeah, it was a year and a half plus.
Yep.
Coming up on 2 years. Oy.
Still have to order his gift. Like I said, I'm going to wait till you guys get back.
Slacker.
Well, no, by the time I'd ordered it, it would have ordered it this week.
It would have come while I was away, and I would have waited for me until we got back. That's all.
We're still trying to decide which one to get because Marissa's being difficult. Well, she looked at one which was like ridiculously expensive. Yeah, this isn't an easy. I think I found one though.
Okay.
Oh, that really hurt. That was my knee.
Oops.
So
Scott just broke his knee.
So I had an interesting day at work yesterday.
Oh, do tell.
So I'm sitting at my desk, and since I've had my own office for the last couple of weeks because the guy who shared my office quit, I've been playing music while I work. And I'm like in the programming zone, and all of a sudden the coworker comes in. She's like, "Do you hear what's going on?" I'm like, "What's going on?" As soon as she said that, I elevated my senses, for lack of a better term, and I hear two guys shouting at each other. I'm like, "Okay, what's going on?" Apparently, we have this. This is not a maintenance guy. He just he does deliveries. He does maintenance. He actually helped Marissa and me move.
Yeah, okay.
You know
that
who I'm
guy.
talking about.
Yes.
He's the nicest guy. Like, I've worked with him for 10 years. I love the guy. And then there's this other guy who's a tech for the other side of the business who's a little weird. I don't know if it was a couple weeks or a couple months ago. I'm walking in and he goes, "Scott, you're over 40, aren't you?" I go, "No, why?" He's like, "Oh, because I was just told I have a low sperm count. You should get yours checked." Thank you.
Okay, then.
So they were getting very heated, the two of them arguing. And all of a sudden, the two people that are we have two companies in my office, that have the same corporate umbrella, sort of. So this is on the other side of the business. And the two people who were in charge of that moment are don't know what to do. And they fired the guy at that moment because the maintenance guy, I don't know exactly what happened. After he got fired, this is what I found out. He's been slacking off. We're going to call him Phil. Okay. I'm not giving real names for obvious reasons. Phil, and the maintenance guy we'll call Larry.
Yeah, all right.
So Phil's been slacking off at his job, and it's just been a matter of time. And Larry apparently called him out on something, and he called Larry a snitch, and they got very heated. Supposedly, Larry threatened his life and said he's going to kill him. Yeah. I don't know if I believe that. Then, in the tech office on the other side, behind the door, there's a bat and a golf club. He grabbed the bat and was about to go after him. One of the other techs grabbed the bat out of his hand and just closed the door and kicked him out of the office.
Yeah.
And then another tech took Larry, said, "I have a call to go to drive me there," because he drives the guys around. So he just took him and got him out of the office, which was clever. I got to give him that.
Okay.
So then Phil was fired and left very angrily.
Right.
And then about a half hour later, the police show up. Phil called the police on Larry, saying he threatened his life.
Okay, and wait, who's the one who grabbed the bat? Was that
Phil
or Larry? Phil grabbed the bat.
Yeah.
So how did Larry threaten his life? That's my
question. I
question.
don't know. There's in the back of our office, there's a warehouse area where they keep supplies for it. Yeah. And there's a little door there that's by the air conditioner. And that's where this was going down. And I said, my office isn't that close to it. But they were getting pretty heated. And for Larry to get that upset...
Yeah, something happened.
Yeah. This guy was on his way out anyway. Apparently he slept in the office once and wore his pajamas in there or something like that. Somebody came in and he was in his pajamas.
That's weird.
Yeah. Of what I understand, it was a matter of time before he was fired anyway, so the sooner the better. The only problem was he was the weekend guy, so now they needed to get someone to cover today and tomorrow, yesterday.
Yeah, fun.
But they have a good group of guys that just basically said, I'll do this, we'll do a rotating schedule until we figure it out.
Yeah, okay. Good enough.
It's always, the best is I was out to lunch once and my boss texted me, I just fired so-and-so. I'm like, can you give me a warning? I can't cut off his access while I'm getting lunch.
Yeah. And there's nobody else who can do that while you're out?
Not at that point. The other guy was on vacation.
Oh.
And it was a sales guy, too. You want to cut off sales access immediately.
Yeah, generally.
Anything fun going on in the wonderful world of webcasting?
No, nothing specific. It's just moving along as usual lately.
Moving right along is like...
Yeah, no, stop.
I've been having a hard time motivating myself lately. It's bad.
No, I've just been really tired.
Well, the longer commute's probably getting to you. You have to get used to it.
Yeah, well, longer commute, getting up early.
What time do you get up?
I get up at 4:45 or 4:45 now.
What time do you used to get up?
We used to get up at 6:25, and then we'd leave the apartment at 7:30, 7:40.
So you're getting up at 5:45?
So now I'm getting up at 5:45, and I'm out of there at just before 7.
Why does it take you so long to get ready?
I don't know.
Well, what time do you get to work usually?
It would take me less if I putz around in the apartment for a few minutes. So
what time do you?
I don't like to have to rush out the door. So
what time do you have to get to work by?
I'm supposed to be there at 8. Actually, I'm getting there more on time now than I was before. Mainly because I have to leave. Because if I, it's not like before where if I miss a train, I can just catch the next one. 5 minutes, not a big deal. The trains are spaced a little bit further apart because I'm closer to the end of the line now. So
gotcha.
Also, I had a fun hour-and-a-half commute one day last week.
I've had a 3-hour commute. When you have those, we'll talk.
Yeah, well.
Your problem is going to be if that happens on the way home.
Yeah, but if it does...
You get out and you get a cab.
If I can get out and get a cab, I can contact daycare and we'll deal with it. I'm sure they'll be understanding if I'm stuck on the...
Hopefully you'll get close with your neighbors where you can have them as an emergency pickup or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's definitely possible. We're trying to get we've been trying to get the two kids to be more friendly. They're still a little not edgy, but they're still sort of feeling each other out, I guess, for lack of a better term. They kind of stare each other down and just look at each other.
When did you see her again?
I saw her a couple times last week. She comes home around the same time as I do, usually a little bit after. And a lot of times Max is playing in the hallway, so she comes out. I think she comes home and then she sends her nanny home, and usually when she's at the door, she'll see Max and me playing, and then sometimes she'll bring her daughter out. Although her daughter goes to bed early, she gets home at 6:15. She puts her daughter to bed at 6:30, 6:45.
Really?
That's it. The kid's down for the night. And she asked me one time what time Max goes to bed. And I said, yeah, we usually put him down around 9 o'clock. She goes, really? That's late. How does he stay up so late? I said, well, he takes a long 2-hour nap in the middle of the day. And then she goes, oh, that explains it. Because her daughter apparently doesn't nap very well. So
okay. To each their own. But you know what? At the same point, you get some time with him at the end of the day. The morning you barely see him.
Yeah. A lot of times sometimes he doesn't wake up until after I've left. So I just see him asleep in the morning.
Do you say goodnight, give him a kiss, and then leave? Oh, then you'll wake him up.
No, sometimes I might go, bye-bye, Max, and then just leave. But sometimes he's awake, and then he's clinging to my leg or crying because I left. But, hey.
Or one day you go, bye-bye, Max, and he goes, take care, Dad. You're like, whoa, where did that come?
Yeah, we have about 14 years before something like that happens.
I'm just picturing the scene of The Simpsons where Homer's singing in the choir and Grandpa's like, he's going to make me $1 million, and his voice changes mid-song. The good old days. I haven't really watched The Simpsons in so long. I don't even watch Family Guy anymore.
For shame.
Do you?
No, I mean, I've watched it, but certainly not on a regular basis.
I used
Either
to watch
show.
The Simpsons all the time. I watch
Occasionally, I'll catch The Simpsons. I know you watch the Treehouse of
Horrors
Horror.
every year.
Yeah,
I have yet to miss one. It's amazing how long that's been on the air. I think they just got renewed for like 2 more years last year or something like that.
really. I mean, hey, people still like it. Obviously, it
I
still
still
gets
remember
ratings.
it premiered the night we went to see Ice Capades.
Yeah.
Do the
Do
Mario. Swing your arms from side to side.
Yes,
Yeah.
when we were a bunch of idiot preteens doing the Mario in the stands of Nassau Coliseum.
Hypothetical situation.
Oh God.
Would we do it today?
I don't know.
Yesterday was Mario Day. Did you know that?
Was it?
Yeah, it's March 10th.
Why is that Mario Day?
MAR10. I didn't make it up. I saw it.
Okay then.
Well, do you know why May 4th is Star Wars Day?
Yes. May the 4th be with you.
What's it? Monday is Pi Day or Tuesday? Tuesday.
Yeah, Tuesday.
Tuesday 11th.
Tuesday is Pi Day. 3.14.
15297.
Yeah. Nobody cares about those other numbers.
But those numbers have feelings too.
Too bad. They're too far down in the decimal. People only want to remember 2 decimal places. What can I tell you?
Americans are so lazy. Surly.
America.
Shirley? Your name is Shirley? That's such a bad movie.
No, call me Knife. Nice? Your name is Nice? It's not nice. It's not nice. Yes, it is a bad movie, but it's entertaining.
Yeah. Can't
In
remember
its
the last
own
time.
stupid way.
Can't remember the last time I saw it.
I don't remember the last time I saw it either. It was on kind of heavy rotation in HBO a number of years ago, but
What's on rotation now is Mike and Dave Need Wedding Dates. Have you seen that yet?
no.
It's actually kind of funny. And it's based on a true story.
I feel like I did see a couple of scenes of it.
It's based on a true story. These 2 guys got dates to their sister's wedding on Craigslist.
Really?
Yeah.
And were the dates crazier than they were?
I think it was been highly dramatized, but
I'm sure.
it was pretty funny. I got to give them credit. I actually really enjoyed it.
Okay. I mean, I know the gist of that movie is that basically the two brothers, they're like party guys, and they tried to get really clean-cut dates for it, and then the dates turned out to be crazier than they were.
Pretty much. And Kumail Nanjiani's in it.
Who?
He plays
Dinesh?
Dinesh,
Yeah, okay.
the Indian guy.
Yeah, I'm well aware who Dinesh is.
That comes back in like a month.
Yay! Except I won't be able to record it this season, but hey.
Why you can't get
DRM.
What?
DRM.
I thought they got rid of DRM.
Nope.
Oh, you tested it?
Yep. Hell, I can't even record off of TBS because it's DRM'd.
You serious?
I shit you not.
But you don't really need to record it. If you have an HBO subscription, you get HBO Go, and they're all on.
No,
there.
I know. Plus, I have HBO on demand, so.
Yeah. Well, HBO on demand only usually has the current season. HBO Go, you can watch like old shit, like all the Sopranos episodes. You know, the Sopranos went off the air 10 years ago this June.
Wow. I have that. I have the final episode of that recorded.
Do you want to know how I
From
know
my
it's
old DVR system.
Do you want to know how I know it's 10 years? I was in Florida and I was dating Marissa at the time. We were just dating, and I remember calling you when the thing went to black.
Oh yeah. It's like, did yours just go to black? Is something wrong with your cable system? Everybody thought their cable went out.
It was the most infuriating moment in television history.
It was one of them.
Huh. It was a good episode. I just didn't love the way they ended it.
Yeah, I mean, I felt like it ended on a cliffhanger at the time, and I think at the time I also saw it as a setup for a movie.
Well, that ain't happening now.
It definitely ain't happening now, but I think that.
Well, actually, it could happen now. If Tony actually died, then that's how they could do it.
Yeah, maybe. But then they'd have to have somebody else doing her acting as the boss of the family. So
yeah,
and who's going to take over?
Christopher Moltisanti.
Wait, didn't he?
Yeah, he died too. Spoilers.
Spoilers from a series that ended 10 years ago.
And yesterday was the 20th anniversary of the premiere of Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Oh God, we're old.
You never watched that show, did you?
No, I saw the movie many times.
The movie's awful.
Yes, so
the show is nothing like the movie.
Okay.
It actually.
Regardless, I just wasn't interested.
Probably it has some of the best dialogue in the history of television.
Really?
Yeah.
It's just dialogue.
No, I'm saying the action's good, but just the way the show is written is just... It's an allegory.
You're an allegory.
I'm an Al Gore?
Allegory.
Caramel log into my HBO Go account. It's not letting me.
You're doing that now?
Yeah, why not?
Okay, well, you do that. I can pay bills. Because it's about that time. So go to www.audibletrial.com/citizenho where you can sign up for a free 30-day trial account and get a free audiobook download. There are thousands upon thousands of titles to choose from, such as this one that my esteemed colleague can recommend when he gets off of HBO Go.
Game of Thorns by Doug Weed.
We timed that well.
Narrated by Doug Weed.
Who?
Here's the first insider account of the precipitous fall of Hillary Clinton, how the scandals of a lifetime finally reached critical mass. It's how she didn't win.
Oh, okay. So why can't they just call it How Hillary Lost?
Because they want to tie it into Game of Thrones.
Boo earns.
Were you saying boo or boo earns?
I said boo earns.
I was saying boo earns. Ugh. See, The Simpsons is just a brilliant show.
Boo earns.
The one thing that I did like is I felt the movie was more than just an extended episode. It was a legitimate movie.
I guess. I still find it amusing when you get that scene at the end where Marge goes, "Somebody throw the goddamn bomb."
Oh, yeah.
Which I'm convinced they simply just put in there just because they could.
Oh, there we go. Now I'm in my HBO Go account. Everyone can rest assured, I got into my HBO Go account.
I'm sure the podcast audience was very concerned about that.
My username is Mr. Winky, and the password is 12345.
Sure.
So, how do you like your upgrade to Nougat on your phone?
Pretty good so far.
I still don't think the battery is what they brought. My battery life isn't what they said it was, but that's the only complaint I have about the phone.
My battery life is, well, listening to music seems to definitely use less battery life off of my phone. So.
Oh, any media. I use my phone
mainly because I was using it to read, so it was the display was lit up constantly.
I usually, if I leave here at 100% with listening to my podcast and stuff, by the time I get to work, I'm usually at 80%.
I leave home at 100%. There's this game that they have daily puzzles that I play. I get through that usually within a few minutes. Mm-hmm. And then I'll switch to music. I get to work and I'm at 94, 95%.
I'm convinced one of my issues is Sprint. The spotty coverage affects it.
Could be. I don't know. I put my phone into airplane mode as soon as the train goes underground.
I'm above ground most of my trip.
Yeah, well,
supposedly they're trying to work it out so you'll never lose signal on the New York City subway.
They have cell signal in all the stations, supposedly. But in the tunnels between the stations, you don't have signal yet.
They're working on it.
I guess so.
Have you ridden the 2nd Avenue subway yet?
No. Haven't had any need to.
I know, but do you want to?
I do.
I heard the stations are really nice.
Yeah, they do seem to be. My father used it.
What did he say?
He said it was nice, and he said it was pretty quick.
But it's pointless what they do. It's 5 stops. Not even 3 stops,
Oh,
right?
okay. No, it's 3 stops on 2nd Avenue,
yeah.
But it ties in with the existing Q line.
So you could take that.
So it's an easy way. First off, it's now a ton easier for people on the east side to get over to Times Square. Because they can just take that directly there. whereas they used to have to change trains for it. And it's also it's an easier way to get to other portions of the downtown area. Although once you get down to like Soho, the NQ and R lines are right by the 456. So, but it works. It's also easy access to get to different parts of Brooklyn.
But Phase 2 is on hold right now because they don't have funding for it, right?
Phase 2, I think they're still working on funding for it. And it's funny because Phase 2 is the part that actually involves the section of tunnel that they built like 40 years ago.
Oh, really?
That's just been sitting there empty for all this time.
That's to go up to 125th Street.
Yes, Phase 2 is to go up to 125th, and then
Phase 3 is from 96 to...
Phase 3 is from 72nd down to like Houston Street or something.
Yeah. And that'll be the T line.
That once they do that, then they'll probably add in the T line, and then the final phase is from Houston down to near the Staten Island Ferry, I think.
It's amazing they've been doing this for like 100 years and it's still not done.
Yeah, well, they haven't done anything for most of that 100 years, and I don't know how long it'll take them to get Phase 2 going, but I think they've done some little things, but it's mostly like planning. And
I still think what they did with the 7 line was stupid.
Yes and no. I mean, it seems dumb, but you got to remember, it gives everybody direct subway access to the Javits Center.
No. Where they terminated the 7 line is stupid.
What do you mean?
They should have come back around and gone back to Penn Station.
Why?
So you have direct access from Penn Station right to Javits Center. It's not an easy walk.
I've done that walk.
It's a 20-minute walk.
That's
A 15
minutes.
minute. But when you're carrying a lot of stuff and...
I mean, if you're carrying a lot of stuff, yeah, I can somewhat
But
see
they should have
that,
just come back around and right to Penn Station.
Yeah, but the problem, I don't know where you could set up a subway station for the 7 there. That's tough.
Yeah, they could have figured it out.
And I think, honestly, part of their plan was to continue south, or to at least set it up so that they could continue the train line south along 11th.
Down to like the World Trade Center?
I don't know about all the way down there, and then there was also talk about like extending it into New Jersey somewhere.
Yeah, that they wanted to extend the 7 to Secaucus.
Yeah. Or extend it into Hoboken or whatever they were talking
Bloomberg
about.
always wanted it to go to Secaucus, I know that.
Yeah, well, that was what they had talked about at the time, but I don't know. I mean, I guess it could work from where they are now. That would also be a tremendous undertaking.
Well, because you'd have to get the MTA and the Port Authority to work together on that one.
Yeah. And just that's digging a new tunnel to New Jersey.
Which they need. Well, I think they were going to use the core tunnel that never got built for it. I think that was the goal.
What, that Jersey Transit tunnel?
Yeah.
Oh, I think that was part of I think they were going to use the funding that was set up,
Yeah, that Christie gave back.
That Christie gave back when he canceled that whole project.
Asshole. The tunnel would be open in 2 years if he didn't cancel it.
Yeah.
And like every day going to work, I literally, no matter what day it is, my train will stop for at least 5 to 10 minutes, not moving, waiting for clearance to go through the tunnel. Every day.
Yep. Thanks, Chris Christie.
I don't remember Long Island Railroad having that issue.
Because the Long Island Railroad
There'll be some slowdowns at Jamaica sometimes.
Yeah, there are slowdowns at Jamaica just because that's where all the lines converge.
Yeah.
But the thing about Long Island Railroad is that they share the tunnels to a degree with Amtrak, but it's not really as much active usage.
Yeah.
It's really just Amtrak moving trains in and out of their storage yard in Sunnyside.
Well, that's where the Jersey Transit storage is also.
Yeah. Because that all goes straight into Penn.
Yeah.
But Long Island Railroad has they have pretty much free reign on a lot of that track space.
Yeah. And there's only 4 lines?
What, Long Island Railroad?
Yeah. Port Washington.
There's Port Washington. There's
Ronkonkoma,
Hempstead.
Port Jeff.
Okay, Port Washington, Port Jefferson, Ronkonkoma.
Ronkonkoma and Port
Bay.
Jefferson are the same line.
No, they're not.
They diverge at Hicksville. I'm talking about going into the city.
Okay, but it's still trained. It's still, you still get trains from both ends of that, so they're still separate lines. So, Port Washington, Port Jefferson, Ronkonkoma, Oyster Bay. And then you have Hempstead, Babylon. There's a West Hempstead branch, I think, and I think that's it. There's also
okay, Google.
There's like Greenport.
How many lines are there on the Long Island Railroad? Well, that's the green.
I'm not sure how to help.
Yeah, it's going to your
I know
thing over there.
But doesn't the Greenpoint line like extend from Ronkonkoma?
Yes, and the same with Montauk.
Yeah, that's from Babylon.
That extends out from Babylon. Yeah. So those I won't count. But that would also be like counting Port Jefferson and Huntington separately, which you don't.
Port Jefferson and Huntington on the same line.
Yes.
Yeah.
But the electric trains will terminate at Huntington.
I still don't get why they never extended that.
I think mainly because of ridership. Because so many people just drive down to Ronkonkoma, so they just don't have the ridership to justify it.
If there was like a 6:30 train from Ronkonkoma that would get me in the city at 7:30, had like it would do like 3 stops, Hicksville, and then Penn Station. It's like Ronkonkoma,
Ronkonkoma, Central Islip, and Brentwood,
and then Hicksville and then Penn Station.
Yeah.
And then coming back, there was like a 5:50 that did the same thing.
Yeah, I've caught trains like that are express all the way out to like they're express to Hicksville, and then after Hicksville they do most of the local
I catch
stops
express trains coming out here. I take a 7:50 train out of Milburn. It does 1 stop at Newark Broad and then goes to Penn.
Okay.
Coming back, I take a 6:08. First stop Maplewood, second stop Milburn.
Okay, I mean that's not bad,
But the other thing about Long Island Railroad is, say they announce a track late, the train still leaves on time. I don't know how they do it.
Okay.
Jersey Transit, they announce the track late, the train leaves 10 minutes late. It takes me 10 minutes.
I think mainly it's because they have that crush of people that can't get down to the platform quick enough because the way that station is designed is terrible.
The Jersey Transit, in the morning, every morning, I have to wait 15 minutes to get up the stairs.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Which is why they want to build a new Jersey Transit area somewhere in Penn Station, either in the new section in Moynihan or.
Well, Marissa and I got off a couple weeks ago in this weird section, and I'm convinced we were on the other side of 8th Avenue.
Was it? Oh, I think you were in that Long Island Railroad 8th Avenue concourse.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what that is.
And I'm like, where the
hell? It's sort of like remote from everything else.
And I'm like, we didn't know where the hell we were.
Yeah, the only thing that you can really do from there is get to the AC and E trains.
Basically, yeah.
Or go outside.
Because I'm like, how did I wind up over here? Because we always go in by the Amtrak section because we were both working on 8th Avenue.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. I've never been on a Jersey Transit train that ended up there, but.
Well, what'll happen is usually it's like tracks 11 and higher are Jersey Transit and Amtrak. No. I got that backwards. Tracks 1 to like 13 are New Jersey Transit and Amtrak.
Yeah.
14 through like 18 are shared, and then the rest are Long Island Railroad.
No, 14 through 18. Basically, 13 and 14 are shared, and then like 15 through 21 or 22 are Long Island Railroad.
I've got on like track 16 before for Jersey Transit.
Okay, I haven't seen that far over, but okay. I mean, I don't doubt it, but I would say 13, maybe 13 through like 15 at most. Might be.
And the other thing that I've always found is Long Island Railroad is much more consistent with the tracking.
Yeah, Long Island Railroad is pretty well run.
Wasn't it rated like about 10 years ago? Jersey Transit was rated the #1 transit system in the country.
Yeah, I don't know how.
And then it went downhill quickly.
Once again, I don't know how.
I've
never felt that. I've never had that great of an experience on any Jersey Transit trains.
Granted, I haven't had that great of experience on Long Island Railroad trains. But anyway, we digress. Now it's time for something important.
Like what?
Movies.
Ooh, movies. Hey, maybe I should prepare and actually bring up the Movie Insider page. Although that takes a lot less time than looking up a book to recommend.
Eat a dick.
No, thank you. Doot, 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 doot. Alrighty. So we start off this week with Sword Art Online, which it's listed as an event, so this is probably not going to have any kind of rating.
Want to skip it then?
Yeah, we'll skip it. All right. Then we have Kong, Skull Island, starring Tom Hiddleston, Jason Mitchell, Corey Hawkins, and Brie Larson. A diverse team of explorers is brought together to venture deep into an uncharted island in the Pacific, as beautiful as it is treacherous, unaware that they're crossing into the domain of the mythic Kong. I want to know how this ties in with the other movies, if at all.
I don't know. I can't see this being it. I'm going Rodden.
Yeah, probably.
Brimstone. Guy Pearce, Dakota Fanning, Amelia Jones, and Carice Van Houten? I wonder if she's related to Milhouse.
I don't know. I was wondering the same thing. Anyway.
A triumphant epic of survival and a tale of powerful womanhood and resistance against the unforgiving cruelty of a hell on earth. Our heroine is Liz, Dakota Fanning, carved from the beautiful wilderness, full of heart and grit, hunted by a vengeful preacher, Guy Pearce, a diabolical zealot and her twisted nemesis. But Liz is a genuine survivor. She's no victim. A woman of fearsome strength who responds with astonishing bravery to claim the better life she and her daughter deserve.
What?
It's a Western, apparently.
It is?
It says Western underneath info.
So it does.
I look at the picture. There's like a guy in a hat.
Yeah, all right, whatever.
I'm still going Rodden. But.
So am I. Okay, next we
There's
have...
reasons they're coming out in March.
What?
There's reasons these movies are coming out in March.
Yeah, okay. Burning Sands, starring Trevor Jackson, Alfred Woodard, and Travanti Rhodes and Steve Harris. A journey of fraternity pledging through the eyes of one favored pledgee who is torn between honoring a code of silence or standing up against the intensifying violence of underground hazing.
I'm going to go fresh on this because I think if I go Rodden, people are going to accuse me of being racist.
Why would they accuse you of being racist?
Because Alfred Woodard's black.
So?
What are you going with?
I'm going to go Rotten on it. Mm-hmm. I just don't buy it.
Well, I'll definitely go around on the next one.
Personal Shopper. Starring
Kristen Stewart, Lars Eidinger, Sigrid Bouaziz.
Yeah, sure. Bouaziz.
Escaziz, he knows. Sorry.
Anyway.
Anders Danielson Lai.
Bouaziz.
Olivier Assayas, the internationally acclaimed director of Clouds of Sils Maria and Summer Whores.
Hours.
Returns with this ethereal and mysterious ghost story starring Kristen Stewart as a high-fashion personal shopper to the stars who is a spiritual medium. Grieving the recent death of her twin brother, she haunts his Paris home, determined to make contact.
Yeah, okay, Rotten. Anyway, moving on.
Kristen Stewart, lack of cred.
Next we have Raw, starring Garance Marillier, Ella Rumpf, Rabah Nate Ufela. Garance Marillier portrays the teenage Justine who commences her studies at veterinary school to follow in her family members' footsteps. Raised as a vegetarian, Justine is pressured at school to try meat for the first time. Once she does, she plumbs both the depths of her own soul and tests the limits of her darkest cravings.
Foreign film cred.
Yeah, it might be foreign film cred, even though it's a horror film.
Swing Away. Shannon Elizabeth, John O'Hurley, Carl Theobald, and Manos Gavras. So you have Shannon Elizabeth, who hasn't done anything in a while, and John O'Hurley, who was Jake Peterman.
Yeah. Okay, anyway.
Following a meltdown that leads to a suspension, professional golfer Zoe Papadopoulos, the only reason I don't pronounce this is because of Webster, travels to her grandparents' village in Greece to escape the harsh spotlight of the international sports world. Between baking bread and eating baklava, she meets and mentors a 10-year-old girl who is determined, against all odds, to become the next golf sensation. Along the way, Zoe rediscovers her Greek heritage, her love of the game, and the hidden strength within herself as she inspires the townspeople in an epic showdown against a greedy American developer.
What the hell? That just took a weird turn for...
Greek golf movie. Greek golf cred? I'm actually going to go fresh on this.
Okay, I'll follow you on this one, although I don't know about it.
Kevin succumbs to peer pressure.
The Ottoman Lieutenant, starring Michel...
Michel.
No, there's an IEL.
I know, but it's foreign, so it's Michelle.
Whatever. Hera Hilmar and
Hera.
Josh...
Hera, like Queen Hera.
Whatever. Josh Hartnett and Ben Kingsley. A strong-willed woman, Hilmar, who, frustrated by ongoing injustice at home, leaves the United States after meeting Jude, an American doctor, Hartnett, who runs a remote medical mission within... Man, that took too long to read. Must unlock phone. Okay. Within the Ottoman Empire, a world both exotic and dangerous, and on the brink of what is about to become the First World War. There, she finds her loyalty tested to both Jude and the mission's founder, Kingsley, when she falls in love with their perceived enemy, a lieutenant in the Ottoman Imperial Army.
Lieutenant Dan.
Huizman. With invading army forces at their doorstep and the world about to plunge into an all-out war, she must make a decision. Epic.
Rodden.
Okay, sure.
The Sense of an Ending. Starring Jim Broadbent, Charlotte Rampling, Harriet Walter, and Michelle...
Rampling.
What?
There's an L in there. Rampling.
Marissa just wants to know how much time we have. 10 minutes?
Yeah, sure. Whatevs.
Tory Webster, Broadbent, leads in a reclusive and quiet existence until a long-buried secrets from his past force him to face the flawed recollections of his younger self, the truth about his first love, Rampling, and the devastating consequences of decisions made a lifetime ago.
Yeah, rotten.
Okay, I agree.
Okay, This Beautiful Fantastic, starring Jessica Brown Findlay, Tom Wilkinson, Andrew Scott, and Anna Chancellor. A contemporary fairy tale revolving around the most unlikely of friendships between a reclusive, agoraphobic young woman with dreams of being a children's book author and a curmudgeonly old widower. Bella Brown is a beautifully quirky young woman who dreams of writing and illustrating a successful children's book. Despite her abandonment as a child, the all-consuming OCD, the unfulfilled dream, her awful boss at the library, and her paralyzing fear of flora and fauna, Bella is down but not out. She has a spark, an edge, a talent, and a voice that we can feel from the get-go. This girl has a preternatural survival instinct, having been found in Hyde Park in the middle of winter as a baby. When Bella is forced by her landlord to deal with her neglected garden or face eviction, she meets her nemesis, match and mentor in Alfie Stevenson, a cantankerous, loveless, rich old man who lives next door and is an amazing horticulturalist.
What's a horticulturist?
Somebody who works with plants. I'm going to go fresh on this.
Sure,
I don't know why, but I'll go fresh on it.
France. Piane Paula Beer. In a small German town after World War I, Anna mourns daily at the grave of her fiancé, France, killed in battle in France. I can't make this shit up, folks. One day, a young Frenchman, Adrian, also lays flowers out of the grave. His presence so soon after the German defeat ignites passions.
Foreign film cred?
Sure.
Okay. Namor. A film about why life can feel like it's passing us by. Chronicling the unraveling of Stephen Bassem Saleh, a valet driver for a trendy Los Angeles restaurant caught between his dead-end job and the demands of his Arab-American immigrant family.
Foreign film cred.
Yeah, foreign film cred. I'll go with that.
To Flickster. Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba.
Bop.
Kong, Skull Island. Oh, shit, 78%.
Hooah.
Raw, 90%.
Really?
We got that one right. Personal Shopper, 78%. Brimstone, 32%. The Sense of an Ending, 71%. We got that one wrong, too. The Ottoman Lieutenant, 22%. Let's search. Burning cities.
Yeah, they all sucked.
82%. Fresh. Woohoo! Circle gets a square.
Dagnabbit.
They should bring back Hollywood squares.
Yeah, I think they tried that once.
Swing away, no reviews. This beautiful, fantastic. %60%, barely fresh.
Ooh.
France. Not France.
France.
Hansel? 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 Fresh.
Hansel?
Namor. No reviews. Alright,
Okay. Housekeeping.
Yep. Like us on iTunes, Stitcher. What's the other one? Google Play Music. Like us, download us, review us, love us, suck our dicks. Tweet us at CitizenHoPod. Find us on Facebook at facebook.com/CitizenHo. Instagram at CitizenHoPod. Email us at dumbass@citizenho.com. And that's it for Citizen Ho. I'm Scott.
I be Kevin.
Be excellent to each other.
Bye-bye.
Station!